The children's sermon. Come on down, kids. And they are going to be collecting the boxes also.
Now, a month ago, we passed out the coin boxes. We are going to collect them, so if you have them and you want to bring them down, please bring them down. If you want the kids to come and get yours, raise your hand and I'll send someone back to help. Yes? Are there any others that we missed? Okay, the time sure went quick, so but if you did forget yours today, you can still bring it next week. Okay, kids, come on down for the children's
All right,
message.
come on back down here. That's you. Good morning, Joe. I know, Noah's sick. Everybody's getting sick this time of year. I know you do. This is Palm Sunday, and I brought a poem with me. This was the Sunday that Jesus rode into town, and all the people lined the streets and had palms and waved. They said, "We thank God that Jesus, the Son of the King, has come." And you know what the funny thing is? Do you know what Jesus was riding on when he came into town? Do you know, Leah? Close. Close. Not a camel. Any other guesses? A donkey, Matthew said. That's right. So I'm going to tell you a story this morning about Dennis the donkey. You can see his picture up here on the wall. That's old Dennis the donkey. Old Dennis the donkey got in trouble every once in a while. One day, Dennis the donkey was out in the garden. And he looked in the garden and he saw carrots. You like carrots? You do. Well, Dennis, you don't like carrots. Dennis the donkey saw those carrots and he started pulling them up out of the ground. And his owner came running out into the garden and said, "Dennis, you dumb donkey, quit eating my carrots. Get out of the garden." So he kicked him out of the garden. Well, the next day, Dennis the donkey somehow got into the house. And when he was in the house, he was walking over the chairs and the tables and the furniture. And the owner's wife came rushing in and said, "Dennis, you dumb donkey, you're knocking everything over. Get out of my house." The next day, Dennis the donkey was out in the field and he saw all the goats. And he was feeling lonely and he wanted to play. So he went over to the goats and he said, "Come on, goats, let's play." And the goats all said, "We don't want to play with you. You're a donkey." So he was feeling very sad. Well, the next day he was in front of the house, and in front of the house there were these pretty things that were very colorful growing up out of the ground. You know what they were? You know, Mia? Flowers. And Dennis the donkey went up and he smelled them, and they smelled oh so good. So he started to eat them. And the wife came out again and she said, "Dennis the donkey, you're driving me crazy." And she said, "Husband, take this donkey out and tie him out in the alley." So the husband took a rope and pulled Dennis the donkey out into the alley and tied him to the gate. And Dennis was standing there, very sad, very lonely. When suddenly two men came up. And one of the men said, "That looks like a good donkey." The other guy said, "Yeah." And the guy said, "Donkey, would you like to help us?" And he said, "Yes." So they knocked on the door, and the owner answered the door, and they said, "Sir, could we borrow your donkey for just a little while to bring you right back?" And the owner said, "Oh yes, get that donkey out of my hair for a while. It's driving me crazy." The owner went back inside, and a little while later he was eating lunch with his wife when they heard all this noise. All these people cheering. People were saying, "Hosanna in the highest! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! It's Jesus the Messiah!" And the owner looked at his wife and said, "Did you hear that? Jesus must be coming down our street. Let's go out and see." So they ran outside. They couldn't see because of all the crowd. But then the owner saw Jesus' head above the crowd bouncing up and down. And he said, "It was like, there he is. There's Jesus." And as he got closer, he bent over and he looked at the street, and guess who Jesus was riding on? Dennis the donkey. And as he passed, he said to his neighbor, he said, "Hey, that's my donkey Jesus picked to ride on. That's a very special animal." And he grabbed the guy next to him and said, "Look, Jesus is riding on my donkey." That teaches us a very important lesson. Sometimes when we're feeling sad and we're feeling lonely, we need to remember that Jesus thinks we are very special. Just like he thought that donkey, Dennis, was very special, he thinks we're very special. And so when we are feeling bad, we can always come to Jesus and feel better. Saying, "Lord, thank you for this day and for all the blessings you've given us. And thank you that you think I'm a special person." Let's pray. Lord, we thank you that you do think each of us are special people. We ask now, Lord, that you would bless us as we go on our way. And remember, help us remember that because you think we are special, we are precious in God's sight.